All right. This is BA. I'm here with Spotlight News, Hampton Roads. We're the new news website, community news website. I am your co-founder, editor, and president, and I am here today with Nicole Harp and Clayton Singleton, who just finished up, I believe, the Black Lives Matter mural in the Neon District in Norfolk, Virginia. Tell us a little about yourselves. I don't know who wants to go first. You guys get to pick.
Nicole wants to go first.
Okay, well, actually, okay, thank you, Clayton. Voluntold. Actually, the title, Clayton, and you confirm, but the title of the mural is Black Lives More Than Matter, just so you kind of have a reference. So, a little bit about myself. I'm a professional artist and have been since '92. I've shown in DC, Atlanta, and this area, and I've been teaching for about 21 years while I've been an artist. So I just recently had photographs in the Sea Level Rise Unknown Outcome show at the Hermitage. And the rest, I guess, is on my CV on my website. Abstract painter. I'll let Clayton go, and then we can kick it back and forth. I don't want to take, quote unquote, too much of the spotlight. Kidding. All right, Clayton. Clayton, your turn, Clayton.
Clayton Singleton, Norfolkian artist, teacher, just somebody who just, loves to love and loves to create and kind of specialize in helping people find their voice. It's pretty much my gig, I do mostly paintings, a lot of figurative work, many times portrait, but I also do constructive artworks and as well as murals, as well as poetry and kid books and stuff like that. So yeah, that's me.
Nice. So between the two of you, you have a massive resume. So tell us a little about the project, besides the, I guess, official title. Are we going with official title? Is Black Lives More Than Matter?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, Cole was like, hey, I'm going to submit to this other project. Did you submit to this other project? And I was like, no. She's like, I think we should. I'm like, cool. And the other project was this Neon District piece, because they wanted a mural about the current climate in America, which of course deals with the uprising, if you want to call it, the summer protests of social injustices, as well as our COVID condition in this country. So, it was a matter of actually collaborating with IDEA. And what's really cool is this. Let me tell you how dope Nicole is. Right? Nicole,
Got you, mister.
feel me. Nicole is a personality who really knows how to be in charge, and she knows how to see a bigger picture, right? Some people have difficulty with that they have to be in control in order to be in charge. She said, this piece being mostly about Black Lives Matter, it's not like I have to be a lead piece on that, even though I've had my own sect of oppression and discrimination. And that allowed me space to actually be collaborative, because that doesn't happen a lot all of the time. People like to take control over whatever that they have. And so that's what really made the work with Nicole great, because she was able and willing to be like a partner. And, artists, we have egos. So that's difficult for a lot of artists to actually be partners. And, she was able to be a partner in this endeavor, which just helped us do a fabulous job with it. Like, it just allowed us to do a fabulous job.
You know what, Clayton, excellent segue, because I have to come back, BA, to a quote that I don't check Facebook often, but since Clayton and I, we started the mural, he's great about posting and getting a lot of PR, getting our faces out there. So I was checking Facebook, and I saw a post-it, I think he wrote it, but it was like, get out of your feelings. Actually, I don't even know the whole quote, but it was get out of your feelings and get moving. And it's funny because What is your, where is that posted? Like,
Hold on,
but,
hold on.
you know, as a woman in general, we tend to be in our feelings, but
There it is.
go ahead, Clayton, find it. Find
There
it.
it is. There it
What
is.
does it say? Get out of your feelings and what?
Break through the ceiling.
And break through the ceiling. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Yep.
so it's funny because I didn't see that till like halfway through, but I just got out of a collaborative piece with Sam Hughes in the Hermitage. Sorry, one second, I got to get my dogs out of the room. They're breaking in. I get them in or out, right? Dogs in or out.
They have
But
to be either in and out. Is the thing.
yeah, I'll start barking in a minute. But anyway, so I love to do collaborative pieces, especially bigger works. But and I work with mostly. It's interesting. I'd like to work. There's a particular women, a couple of women I'd like to work with, but mostly it's been men. But anyway, the whole idea of collaboration. Clayton's right. I mean, he can speak to this topic obviously more authentic than I could ever. And we did. It was interesting because during the project we did talk about different times when, like, we would be at the mural and people would walk by, and I'm like, "Hey, did you see how they reacted to me versus you?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, but did you see how so and so reacted to me differently versus you?" So, as a gay female and as a Black African American artist and a gay, you know, it's just not who I am, but it's not who I identify with per se, but it is who I am. It's not like it's on the beginning of my name, but it's, you know, it's obvious, and I'm proud, out and proud. But back to the point. I kept thinking about while we were on that mural, and I have no problem stepping back and let someone take the lead. And then there was times when we were making decisions, or there's decisions to be made, and he would say one thing, and I didn't agree, and I didn't even have to keep pushing because he immediately took a step back and said, you know, and we talked about it and we worked it out, and we never ever butted heads. We always picked up where the other one, you know, one always picked up if the other one was lacking. If he was 80%, you know, if he was 80, I gave the 20. If I was 80, he gave the 20. So it was a really good experience, and it's been a long time. If we ever have officially worked together, I know we worked together, but I'm not sure if we ever officially did a big project like this, right? So it was really good, and actually since then we've been getting some other. Hopefully we can continue to work together. Clayton, can we work together? Continue to work together if we get some more gigs?
We can.
I know he's just really busy because he's got some shows coming up, but we're gonna make sure we can schedule it into his busy schedule. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, that was actually one of my questions was, had you all ever collaborated before? Because I mean, so for those who can't tell, the background of Nicole's picture is she just ducked out of the way, is the mural itself. And it looks like you guys have been working together since infancy. Like, it's just.
Hey, BA, the mural actually looks like this. Like, you know, Clayton and I have high work ethic, and we both were like, no, let's not. I mean, I am as surprised as you. I've done a couple of murals, and the mural actually looks like identical to almost, except the background where you can't make everything exact. Super close to what the original is. So that's, you know, bravo on that one. High five. Yeah.
Good job, homie.
But yeah. So what in the end was your process like for those people who have like never worked on a mural before? Does it start with a postcard? Do you start with a painting because it's paint? Do you know, where would, if I was like, oh, I need to paint a mural on my wall, where would I get started with that? And how does that work as a collaboration in the end? Like, does one of you draw the left side and the other draw the right?
I think there's a couple different artists the way they do it, but Clayton, you can go ahead and jump in, but and I'll, you know, if I have anything different, but I think it's kind of the same. It was going to be the same for us anyway. But go right ahead, Clayton.
Yeah. Several ways you could do it, as she said, but what we did was we basically came up with a design, and I sent it over to Nicole. Like, what do you think? She's like, okay, I'm digging it. So all I did was really project part of it up on the wall because it's a very condensed space. Sometimes you've got space to like drop back across the street or something and actually shoot something on a wall at night and cover lights because of light noise. But this didn't have that capability. So it was just a matter of projecting a small piece of it and then kind of doing a little spot here and there, and then spray painting the outlines. So once all of the outlines were like spray painted, then we painted the background in red. Then Nicole taught me how. I tried to paint like Nicole, right?
He taught me not to be scared of heights. I had to hold on to him. BA, I had to hold on to him. We were like 35 feet up in the air. And I said, I can't do it without you. He said, I guess I'm going to learn. And I said, I guess you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to hold on to him for a while.
You know, got my learn on how to do some abstract work, because abstract is hard. I can't do it. People look at me and go, I can do that. No, you can't. You can't. Stop lying to yourself. Get a new hobby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's really challenging. And so once we kind of laid in the background, then we started laying in figures and blocking in color. And then we moved about the piece so that it didn't look like one hand here, another hand there. Then we had a couple of assistants come out and like help us out from Norfolk State, TJ and Chloe. And then they also moved around, you know, and Nicole has some of her painting style and like technique in the bottom and the top. I have some of my painting techniques and styling in the bottom and the top. So it just moves around, and it's just very fluid. Like a pair.
That makes sense. That makes sense to move people around from place to place, so that the four of you, essentially, if you had two assistants, become one total artist almost.
Right.
And BA, you know, you paint background, middle ground, and foreground anyway. The details always go last. And then the way Clayton kind of boxed that, I don't want to say box, but graphic out the figures, it was easy and they did a great job, you know, hands off, no hands, hats off to Solomon for sending TJ and Chloe, because they picked up brushes. They're graphic design majors, which I am, graphic design majors, and they picked up the brush and started painting like they weren't scared of anything. And Clayton gave I feel like I'm in Hollywood, and how the Hollywood actors do with each other when they're in an interview. They talk better about the other person. Okay, but
it's always good to like work it as a team where you can be each other's hype men. Like that's a thing.
Right. It is authentic, though. It's not fake, but it is nicer, easier to talk about someone else than yourself, right? But anyway, Clayton he did make it easy for me too, because I'm not a realist painter. I'm not. To me, I'm all about the line and the energy. I mean, I do love realism, but so you know, some of the face parts were challenging, or you know, I was working from Clayton's drawing at certain parts. But anyway, he was real open about that, and it truly was a collaborative, because in the end, it was whatever I put down and the way I did it was working. So yeah, I want to do it again.
Awesome.
We will.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm sure that the city will have more places that need a mural fairly soon, I would hope. But yeah,
you tell them, BA. Tell them that. Yeah.
We've got so many walls in the city. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right?
So many walls.
They can't all just
a little time. That's right.
So many walls.
Actually, we're talking to the Chrysler about a mural inside, and I thought that was I pitched it to him something you know, regarding the current climate, and they have an upcoming show, so hopefully they will they'll jump on it. And I talked to Sherman Williams, who we want to mention them because they gave us they donated paints and supplies, and then gives a really good price on the anti-graffiti coating that covers the whole mural. So
okay.
Yep.
I always wondered about that. So there's a chemical you can put on it so that you can wipe off like dirt and other things without wiping off the mural. Okay.
Yeah, you just a light pressure, 15% pressure with pressure washer to clean it up. So
fun times.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it if you're going to go through all that effort, time, energy. Yeah.
All right. So what message do you, I mean, you're both high school students. What messages do you want to send?
We're the teachers, not the students. Close enough.
Oh, Jason.
Close enough.
Don't mind me. It's been a long week.
We're educators. We're educators.
I'm a high school student.
What was trying to come out of my mouth was you both teach high
Hey,
school.
DA, I always tell the kids I'm the only one in this class who's graduated high school, so you better listen to me. But yes, go ahead.
Sometimes my brain goes faster than
We're kidding. We're kidding with you. Yeah, we're kidding.
I take medication for that.
Excellent. Everybody should take medication.
Right.
TMI.
Right. So yeah, so you both teach, I mean, you've both taught classes worth of high school students. What messages do you want to send them, either with your art, with your lives, you know, what do you want to get out there for them or for other friends of theirs who aren't necessarily in your class?
I can go. So, and I've said this in the interviews that we've been interviewed, but I can't say it enough times. For me, let the students know that you know, that the drawings transcend beyond the classroom, beyond the Zoom walls, and into their lives and their things that they feel passionate about, things they want to protest, social, economic, whatever it is that they have motions and an opinion about, that there is there's multiple ways. You can write, you can act, you can paint, you can draw, you can sculpt. Video, there's so many ways to get your voice heard. You don't have to be someone who protests and marches. There's other ways to do it. And in talking with our students this year, I found they were all just infuriated of what was going on and how people, young and all age, African American, Black and brown people are being treated, and how they've been treated. And I want them to know there is a way that they can get their voice out there, and that's one way is to artists as activists. And for me, that was important for them to see that I could do it, and then share that with them in the classroom.
Well,
and scene.
Right. What I want my kids to know is they get to decide who they are. You know, at the end of the day, you get to create your own story. And it's about like making decisions, and it's not this fake choice thing. It's like making conscious decisions as to who you want to be and how you want to live. And in order to do that, you must become an active participant in your life. And it's not just this passive engagement of just, oh, what's coming by, let me hop in that boat. It's like, no, you got to build your own damn boat. You know what I mean? Like really, really take control of this thing, and that you can be a part of it, not apart from it. And that you are your first and your last line of defense. So creativity teaches you how to be yourself. And it basically helps you tell the world who you are and what your boundaries are, and who you wish to see in the world, right? How do you create your personal legacy? And doing that through the arts is like the best way to do it, because there are some drawings on some caves, and there are some drawings in some fields, and there are some etchings in some stones that have been around for thousands of years, that these people left their legacy. So what is it you're doing that's going to leave legacy, as that, you know, that you were here, like you danced on this world, you know, even if it's just for a short while, you know. And when I'm doing art shows and I invite them out, if I'm doing some public thing, it's like I invite them out, tell them about it, come be in it, come be a part of it. Hopefully we'll be able to do some things that encourage more direct student participation of, hey, come on out and be a part of this thing, because that's what helps you be a part of the community, is like to actually be in it. So I want my kids to know that they're in charge of their lives. You know, they get to dictate that.
And BA, to what Clayton is saying, the imagery is our students. They're your friends. They're my friends. They're people we don't know. They're people we know. And, you know, a question I've been asking continually throughout this mural process and being interviewed is, you know, is this cyclical? And I think that's a question we just really need to, and I'm asking my students that, and, you know, and it goes directly to what Clayton is saying, because, you know, are we going to continue? Is this going to be the current continuous? Is it current? Yes. Is it going to be a continuous movement? And we can, God, you know, DOG, I can only hope so.
I mean, I mean, it's always been the movement, right? Like it's always been present. It's just more people are willing to listen right now, right?
And
This
speak up.
this
Yeah.
this didn't just happen. You know what I mean? This wasn't like, oh, George Floyd, oh, Breonna Taylor, oh, it's bad, we need to march. No, folks have been marching since 1619. So it's like folks have been literally jumping ship since like 1617 and like 1412. So it's not like it's a new thing. It's just people
No,
are people the people have reached the point where the people can't disassociate that much anymore, and there are so many more young people who are watching some things that older people have always hid from them, and there's less how can I say there's less central indoctrination. So the fact that this is not a centralized environment as much as it was even 15 years ago has allowed the narrative to spread into paperback, as I like to say, right? Because our history has been parchment, and then our history became hardback. Well, now it's paperback, and now it's blog. So we can't tell these false narratives as easily anymore. So this has been going on for like a minute. It's been going on for a minute. It's been going on for a minute. You can find it in the paintings. You can find it in the drawings. You can find it in the photography. You can find it in the writings. You can find it in the theater. So it's just reached the point now where I think we've run out of space, and it's like our house is too small to actually contain all these false narratives now, and it's spilling over, and I think that the kids have always checked the system, because they check the system even at school. They're like, oh, that's stupid. Like, oh, that don't make sense. Why are we doing that? You know what I mean? So they've been brought up with this discourse. Well, now we've reached the point where those people with discourse actually have voice, and it hasn't always been that way. So I mean,
shoot, sorry.
so
I feel like, yeah, I feel like we're with the same questions. I mean, whether you're on the bridge in Selma or like before that. I mean, at what point are we? We can't even talk about racism. So I feel like this is the first point that we can actually start talking about racism.
well,
I mean,
more people can feel
yes,
comfortable.
more people can. And can these younger generation take this and make it more? I mean, yes, this is not the first time, of course, but is it the first time that we've had more people willing to listen? That's what I'm saying. We all know it's not the first time. We all know that
We all don't know that.
rural black.
We all did. You know what I'm saying? Because some folks act like it's new.
Right. Well,
like, oh, I just saw this. Stop
or,
lying.
Like,
right.
really, you just saw it?
Right. You just saw it. 2020 opened your eyes. Stop playing. You know what I mean? So it's hopefully the cycle changes, and that it evolves into a cycle with more hands that won't allow you to make this cookie cutter narrative any longer. But we just got to make sure that the narrative is still thorough. And I think that's where the kids can come in, because there are things that they teach me about every day that I have no idea about. And, I tell them that I'm a guide, that I'm not a teacher, I'm a guide, because I'm learning too. Every day I'm learning. It's just that some things I've already done on a human level. Let me help guide you. And it's not so much that I'm even trying to give you what I have, but it's more about sharing some experiences to which you might relate that help you get to your threshold as to wherever you're trying to go.
Yeah, if you stop learning, you die. But I think the imagery on that on the mural, I hope we can see more of it, because I like the fact that as we were in that in the magazine lane, quote unquote, alley, so many people from so many different walks of life were going through that alley and taking photographs, like their family photographs. And it needs to be up everywhere in your face, and not just this, but all different variations, and poetry and writing and acting. And we it's repetition. We always tell the kids, the more times you see it, it needs to evoke change, and change needs to happen, and if not now, then when? So I'm just humbled to be part of the mural, of the theme of the mural, and I know that I learned a lot and continue to learn a lot just working with Clayton. So even
I
if it's
feel
one
like,
person at a time, right?
yeah, I feel like the students today, they have so much more of a communications reach than they even realize that they have. Because I mean, I I was a communications major. I did this self-designed course, so I
Shout
did
out.
a little bit of everything. Yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so and I can remember I was on the, newspaper club in high school, and we were using a big piece of paper, and you physically printed your stuff and you cut it out and you pasted it to the paper. And then we took those papers to the local newspaper and they would print stuff. And today kids can just be like, I see a thing happening, I'm going to grab my phone and it's on the internet.
Right. And they
It's
don't
just
have to
it's
worry about
amazing.
space either, do they?
Yeah, no, they don't have to worry about their spacing. They don't have to worry about anything. They can put it's fun because I can publish for Spotlight, and somebody was like, well, what's your word count requirements? And I was like, it's the internet.
Right.
Like, just give me an article that tells the story you're trying to tell. Like,
Right.
we
Right.
can just
Right.
go, it's a blog. But yeah, no, it's insane. And I don't even know if they realize how many more people they're exposed to at their age than I ever was, just because they can go online and find the group
Anything.
that works with them, like,
Things travel. Yep. They travel fast. Yep.
yeah. All right. So what kind of advice do you have to beginner artists, whether they are of your students' age or, older, or, people who are just like, I'm inspired by this, I want to do something?
I'm going to go here because I am a full believer in the emotional component of it. But what I feel like is if you care enough to make some art, learn how to do it. There's all kinds of art. I'm just talking from an educational point of view. Go to college for it. Go to high school. Get in front of some people who can teach you how to make your work aesthetically pleasing, how to communicate an idea and do it in a way that is going to represent what you're trying to say or what you want to say. I really am a full-fledged believer in learning how to learn the rules before you can break the rules. But I went to VCU, and I think that rigorous program really changed the way I make art, see art, communicate art, my visual literacy. It was huge. So if you care enough about it, then go learn about it. That's me. And then all the other stuff will come later. Your role as an artist is to show the viewer something in a different way. If you want them to stay interested in these four sides of the picture, and if you can't do that with your elements and principles or the compositional terms, if you can't keep them engaged for long, they go into a gallery, they look at wherever, the mural on the street, they look at your work for 2 seconds, you've lost them. The idea is to keep their eye moving around, keep them engaged. And the content happens later. I always talk about that viewer's response, and that will happen, but you have to be smart about how you construct and compose your work of art. And yes, you can self-taught, but you can't get the same thing you can when you from some kind. I'm not saying you have to go to college, but I can't believe I said that. But some kind of formal education. Unless it's Nicole and Clayton College. No, but I'm a full-fledged believer because you'll find out what to say later. It'll come out. Okay, that's it. Wait a minute. Let me step down off my soapbox.
It's all good. It's all good. This is the first graduating class of NCCS University. And I'm kind of not on the other end of that spectrum, but definitely toward the center of that. I believe people that want to get into it, arts, whatever that case is, make something, right? Make something. And then after you make something, you can actually create something. And it's like, I feel like that's the guild for any type of art. In order to become a writer, I need to write, and I can learn how to write better, right? To be a dancer, I need to dance, and then I can learn how to dance better. And I can learn different types of dance that communicate different things, right? So I have a very crisp distinction between making things and creating things. So when you're making something, it's like my analogy is a cake. You can go to the store and go get a Duncan Hines cake and you can make it. Somebody already did all the work for you, so you're just replicating, you're just making it. But when you're going to create something, it's like it's from you and it's from scratch, as they say. And yeah, there are some principles and some elements of design you must follow for cake making. I'm gonna need some eggs. You feel me? So there are certain ingredients that you must have. But how do I use those ingredients to make it qualify and then make it mine, right? So that my voice comes through, so that my cake comes through, right? And the whole thing that I like to say is that that's where like the artist comes in. The artist knows how to create a cake for you that's delicious, right? The artist doesn't say open your mouth and they pour some vanilla in and some eggs and some sugar, sprinkle a little flour. No, little this sentiment. They don't do that and say switch up your head real quick and chew. They don't do that, right? They put it together for you so that you can actually consume it. Like, it sounds crazy, but this is how I think about it, right? So you need to learn from those who have done it so that they can give your meat some spice, right? And I feel like that, they say that experience is the best teacher, but learning from someone else's is much cheaper. So I can get from you what you've learned in 30 years. You can give me some things that I don't have to go through, right? And then I can put that with my formalized study, and then I can bring my voice into play, and now I have my me. And hopefully I've got something to actually communicate, that is not just, I know how to make a landscape, that is simply structural. But, the landscapes that Hockney does versus Wife, like those are two different reasons for doing them. And as an artist, I want my voice to be able to come through. So I kind of feel like you need to, dance, and then you learn how to dance better, because someone's going to give you some strategies. Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Try this out. You know what I mean? And then I can get my structure, and now I'm walking around like Mindy or Barishnikov or Gregory or somebody. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that Andre Agassi versus Pete Sampras. Hit the ball, and it's gonna line in eventually.
I definitely concur. You should. I don't know about Clayton, but I go to bed thinking about it, wake up thinking about it, and if you spend so much time thinking about it, then the rest of the time you should be making it.
Yeah, because it's languaging.
Say again.
It is languaging. I just love to turn that word into a verb. It is languaging, and visual language most of the time. It's how do I get myself into the world?
And the first step is observation. Take a look around you. Take a look. Observe.
Observation and introspection, because I like try to teach my kids to work from the inside out, because I don't know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And really the whole mechanics of it is trying to help someone learn how to make it legible, so that when another person sees it, they can read it. So that when your body does this, it evokes a feeling in that viewer that both of you understand. But if you're doing movements that aren't languaging, then as a viewer, I'm confused, right? If your facial expressions don't necessarily match your words, I'm confused. I can't really read your theatrics that well. So, it's like allowing students to learn how to put what they want to say in a way that can be said and understood, which is
Goes
hard.
back to why they should go to school for it, to learn
Yes,
how to do it. You
like
know
learn
what,
how to
Clayton?
do it.
If you're putting your eggs in and you should mix them up first so you don't make scrambled eggs inside your cake. That's something you need to know. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm with you.
yes.
Yes, yeah.
You gotta
Okay.
get, but you gotta get you some eggs though.
Got the eggs. Everybody's got eggs. Okay.
That makes sense. All right. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time because I know you guys have plenty of students and that you probably have things that you need to do for. But before we head out, do you guys have any shout outs to any current projects, future projects, organizations that you work with? Anything you want to let people know or anything that we missed that you want to say? Like,
I do want to thank the Downtown Norfolk Council, Rachel. What's Rachel? Rachel McCall.
Rachel McCall.
Rachel McCall, and Furious Styles and OJ Wholesale. That's the building, the two business owners that we, on the backside of that building, that we completed the mural. So it was, I really liked interacting with Furious Styles and OJ Wholesale, but especially Furious Styles, talking about the process and about his views on life, and just a really humble, kind human being, and just really happy to have met him. So
Really
yeah, he's great.
yeah. Yeah.
As far as gigs, I'm available. Clayton's not, so I will be available. He will be too soon. So we'd like to do some more Kate Pittman, Chrysler Museum, Sherman Williams, City of East Coast. Anybody up and down the East Coast? All right, that's it. Nicole.
Came to Florida, call me.
Boca Raton.
Key West,
Miami.
Right. You got to go to the Cavalier and get some of that pizza, But just thanks to the Neon District. Thank you to Norfolk Public Schools. Thank you for everybody who came out and stopped by to chat. And just randoms, just like, oh, that's nice. And the guy, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But he works at
MacArthur guy.
Yeah, and
yes, I loved him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the uncool thing about doing public art is that it's for the public, but a more relevant part of that is that you actually get to meet the public, right? When you do a gallery show, it's it's the gallery, and everybody doesn't feel comfortable or everybody's not wanted, honestly, right? And then everybody doesn't feel like that's a space for them. But people feel as though the street is a space for them, and they can take advantage of that art. They too can now be a part of it. So definitely shout out to the Neon District.
Yeah, Neon. Okay.
And shout out to the people that just came by, man. Love you guys for that, As far as gigs and stuff, got a few murals up in Virginia Beach, couple that are in the Vibe District. Also got one over on the facade of Mocha. There's a mural I did there with a guy named Josh, awesome dude. Got Nourish is coming up. There's an art show that's going to be held at Mocha starting in February. I am involved in that show, as well as a show that's going to be in the offsite gallery at MacArthur, a show I'm doing called Norfolk Republic. That's been really, really sweet. It's about Norfolk and history and what I want to call contemporary history. So, a couple of things going on and a couple of little shows and whatnot and curating some stuff. So yeah, check it out. I think we lost Nicole. And I can't hear you. Okay.
Oh, there we go. I think we may have lost Nicole. Her internet may have cut, but as we wrap up, just want to let everybody know that the mural can be viewed at OJ's Wholesale, which is home of Furious Styles in Norfolk. That is 30 7 Granby Street for anyone who is looking to go out and see it. Oh, we got Nicole back. Yay.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you missed me. Thank you. Like, they don't even care. They're still talking.
we were just like, she's probably coming back.
I know, right?
We'll just fill some time.
I had to go have a beer.
I
I'm
did
just
radio in
kidding.
college too. I can fill time.
Sorry about that. What did I miss? Clayton's life story?
Pretty much, he was just going through his stuff, and then you
Kidding.
didn't miss much. We were just getting to if anybody wants to actually see the mural in person as opposed to just looking at Nicole's background.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
Hey.
What's Puppy's name?
Charlie would like to say hello to shout out to all the 4-footers, 4-leggers. Charles came from the streets. He saw a lot of art on his street walks. We found this guy on the street.
He's so sweet.
Thank you, BA, for reaching out to us. I really appreciate your time and thinking of us and
thank you guys for taking the time to actually like talk, because I was very nervous about taking any of your time, because I know as teachers it must not be easy this year. So
that's a fast.
That's a topic we don't talk about.
That's what I figured.
This is the fun stuff, BA. Always ask. This is the fun stuff. We always have time for fun.
There we go. Awesome.
All right.
Well, yeah, so anybody who wants to check it out, head out to 737 Granby Street to see the mural. And otherwise, I'm going to quit recording and we'll have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.